Hi, my name is Alden Reed. I'm the owner-operator of Border Home Inspections. Today's video is about water flooding your basement. I'm in a house today that has recently had a sewer backup. And as you'll see, there's a tremendous amount of damage. You end up living out of boxes and there's a smell in the house. You end up cutting half the basement apart. It is just total devastation. And for some people, it happens over and over again. So it ends up being more of a psychological problem because people end up hating their houses. So the point of today's video is to try to give you some tools and some parts that you can install in your basement and in your plumbing that will enable you to prevent this from happening. Okay, so what I have here is the most expensive fix for your basement. A new home would have one of these already. When I say expensive, it costs about $170. And that is a far cry from what you're going to have to pay if you have to fix your house. So this is called a main check, and it's a newer style check valve. So you get to be able to take the cover off and look inside. There's a flapper valve in here, so the water coming back from the sewer system comes in through here, and it causes this to close, and that protects your whole house from flooding. Okay, here's an older style check valve that is a little less money. I think it's about $75, if I'm not mistaken. This is another inline check valve. If your home is, say, about 20 years old or newer, it might have one of these already. What we found with these types of valves is they had a tendency to fail. So there's a little flapper in here that moves back and forth. The water leaves the house and opens the flapper valve and continues off to the sewer system, whether it's a septic tank or city sewer. What has a tendency to happen with these older style ones is this pops out or gets stuck in the line, and that causes a backup in and of itself. So not as good a system, but definitely better than nothing. Okay, what I'm holding here is called a flood check. This only costs about $30, and it's probably the most underused float check valve that there is. Even in new homes, they're not putting this in all of the new homes. So it's more or less, for new home, it would be a secondary backup. So you had your main check valve that we talked about earlier, the $170 one, and then you'd put this one in the floor drain. And how it works is basically it's sitting down in the floor drain. If water comes in on the basement floor for some reason, it simply runs in over top of this and comes right through, okay? If water coming the other direction, it hits underneath this float and it pushes this up and it seals it off. It's not foolproof, but it is a secondary backup. At least you know that you've done all you can. So for $30, well worth it. I recommend one of these in every inspection, and I recommend to have one in every open floor drain. As a last line of defense, I always recommend alarm systems. You can buy alarm systems such as this little system here. When the water touches the two pins at the bottom, so this is just basically sitting on your concrete floor, and I think they're about $20, $30. The water is going to touch these two pins and it's going to cause an alarm to go off. You're going to be annoyed by it, you're going to go downstairs and have a look and say, oh, there's water coming back through the floor drain. Do whatever you can to stop it. Perhaps you're draining your tub, for instance, and the tub, rather than going out to the sewer line, is going into your basement. So at least you can run back upstairs and plug the tub off. So first line of defense is the backwater valves. This would be your last line of defense after the water's coming into the basement. I also recommend, if you live on an acreage, to have a sewer tank alarm, which is a little more money, but same idea. If the water gets too high, it alarms. So good investment. If you're one of the unfortunate people that has already had a backup in your basement and this video has come too late for you, then maybe you want to go a little bit further and find out exactly what's caused the problem. And at Border Home Inspections, we have the tool for that. We have a sewer camera. You can run the camera down the sewer line and try to find what caused the problem, whether it was tree roots or breaks in the line or sags in the line. And then besides that, I have a locator as well. And we're going to go into videoing, showing you in a video how that works.